Usually in voyage charter, the charterer will specify a specific port. That is, we are going to the port of Tema, we are going to the port of Lome, we are going to the port of Abidjan. Okay, in voyage charter, it is from a definite point to another definite, which will be named in the charter part. But in time charter, because he is hiring the vessel for a period of time, he doesn't have to tell you which port. He will only tell you the limits within. For example, the ship owner would agree that for my ship, it shouldn't go beyond, if it were a taxi, it shouldn't go beyond maybe Nungwa. Okay, so it can operate anywhere between Nungwa and maybe Katamanso. Okay, for a voyage charter, anywhere within that limit. So he will tell you the limit within which the ship can go or operate. But in voyage charter, you have to give a specific port. So it would appear even in the charter party when a specific port is named, or if it is a time charter, the limits within which it is to operate. So once the limit is given, it can go to any port within that limit, provided it is a safe port. Okay, and it can carry any cargo, provided it is a safe cargo, not a contraband or something. So the charterer gives instructions to masters as to the ports the vessel will go to, and the charterer provides and pays for the fuel, the dock and harbor dues, the loading and discharging costs. In voyage charter, all of these will be included in the freight called, whether it is a lump sum or per ton basis. All of it is included. So once he gives the money to the voyage charterer, the voyage charterer will have to settle all these, okay, without any recourse to the ship. Then we have the demise or bareboat charter party. In this one, the charterer will take complete possession of the ship for a period of time, usually up to even 10 years. The ship has been sublet, and a lot of ship owners, that is how they fund their investments. So if he wants to buy a ship, he will sublet it to somebody for a period of time, and he will be taking the money to be paying his mortgage. Okay. Then after that time, maybe after he's paid his mortgage or something, then he'll take back his ship. Okay, but they work it out. So this type of contract is in the form of a lease. It's like when you go and buy land, these days nobody sells his land outright. It's always a lease. It's for a period of time. In time past, when there were not many people on the earth, you could get 100 years leave. Today, it's been reducing, and it's gotten to 25 years. Okay? After 25 years, he comes, he increases it and tells you to pay. If you can pay, fine. If you can't pay, he can even break the structure you put up and repossess his land. Okay. So it is in the form of a lease, where the ship owner gives his vessel completely to the charterer. So most of the time in bareboat charters, you find out that, for example, if Maersk bareboat charters Grimaldi's ship, you see that they will change the funnel of the Grimaldi ship, the colors that are painted on the Grimaldi ship. You know, Grimaldi is white and yellow, isn't it? That is their signature color. And you change it to the blue and black colors of Maersk. The funnel, everything will be changed. He has the option of using the ship owner's crew or finding his own crew. That is why they call it bareboat. So he can decide to take just the ship as it is, everything else take it out. So in a bareboat charter, that is how it operates. The ship owner gives complete possession of the ship to the bareboat charterer, and he uses it as if it were his own ship. A lot of the shipping companies when they say we have 100 ships and so on, sometimes half of those 100 ships are bareboat chartered. But because they have the capacity to get more cargo to carry, then they would want to go and bareboat charter somebody's ship and bring it into their fleet. So strictly speaking, the ship is not theirs. Some of them are not theirs, but they have bareboat chartered them and are using them for the carriage of their cargoes. Okay. So the charterer would man, that is, he will provide a crew, equip whatever is needed for the ship to function, and then he would assume all responsibility for navigation and management and operation of the ship. He is therefore legally liable for the ship. In the bareboat charter, the charterer is responsible for anything that happens to and on the ship or by the ship. So if the ship's crew, instead of doing proper navigation, they fail in their duties and they go and crash the ship, it is the charterer's responsibility. It's not the ship owner, because the master and crew are the charterer's servants, and therefore any problem that they create, they are going to have to deal with it. Then the fourth one is the contract of affreightment. The contract of affreightment is a hybrid between the time and then the voyage charter. Now, how that operates is that in a contract of affreightment, unlike the voyage charter where a vessel will be named and she's going to certain definite ports and so on, in the contract of affreightment, a cargo owner has cargo that needs to be moved, but periodically over a time. So all the cargo might not be ready at any one time, but they will come in chunks. Maybe every 1 month or every 2 months, he's going to get maybe 200,000 tons of cargo. So he will go and charter the vessel, and the arrangement is by the contract of affreightment, in that he would give a certain description of a ship that can do that job he's going to do, that is movement of the cargo. So you give a description of the ship. This ship should be so big, she should be able to have cranes or derricks, she should be able to move about this speed and so on. Once he's done that, then the ship owner would agree to that arrangement, and at any time that the charterer has indicated to him that the cargoes will be available, he has to position a ship for that purpose. So if the cargo is supposed to be moved on a monthly basis, every month the ship owner must give a type of ship that fits that description to the charterer so that he can carry his cargo. So we call that the contract of affreightment. The ship owner has to provide a ship of a certain description to the charterer for the movement of cargo over a period of time. So it can be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and it will be carrying the cargo back and forth. A lot of the ships that bring cargoes for companies like Lever Brothers and Nestle and so on, they usually go with that sort of arrangement. It's usually those with industrial backgrounds like these companies, where, let's say, every month they are supposed to bring milk from Switzerland or wherever, so that they can do their milk products here. Then they have to come. So they have that arrangement, and then it comes, because it will not have to be continuous. But as and when the cargo is ready, then the ship owner has to place a ship at the disposal of the charterer. Okay. So the charter is not for a specifically named vessel, but a certain size or class of vessel to do so many voyages. You find them a lot in coastal shipping in the advanced countries. They usually move a lot of cargoes through this. The parties involved in charter shipping. There are so many parties involved, just like we saw with the liner. We had a ship forwarding agents, ship agents, and then the loading brokers. In charter shipping also we have something of that sort, some arrangement of that sort. We have the ship owner. The ship owner owns the ship and decides to use his ship for tramp shipping. He himself constantly has to look for cargo sometimes. And this will take a lot of time. Therefore, instead of going to have to look for cargo because of the size, especially these days, looking at the size of ship, cargoes and the size of ships, the size of ships particularly, you can't go looking for cargo. In those days when ships were small things, yes, maybe you know one or two friends who can get you cargo. But looking at the sizes of current bulk carriers, some are as huge as 200 and something meters long, and you cannot feel that based on your local knowledge of the place, and you can't know every port, and you can't know everywhere where cargo is. So they usually deal with the charterers. So the ship owners have to subcontract the search for cargo to one or more brokers. The charterer is the person who does the hiring of the ship for a period of time or for a voyage. Then you have the shipbroker. The shipbrokers are the people in the Baltic exchanges around the world. All they do is they try to ensure that they have contacts. Okay? You know, there are some people, if you need, they have a lot of contacts. You only have